Chronic inflammatory arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, that is along with osteoarthritis. We will be dealing with disease burden and pathophysiology here, and partly the current options which are available and role of any novel anti-inflammatory agent. As you well know, that rheumatoid arthritis is a systemic inflammatory polyarthralgia which not only affects the joints as well as the skin, eyes and lungs and blood vessels. Here it is having a fluctuating course, but at the same time it will have a 60% increase in the risk of cardiovascular diseases, excessive angiogenesis, and then accumulation of mononuclear cells in the synovium. There starts the basic pathogenesis. These macrophages from the B cell or T cells, immune complexes, once they get activated, produce collagenase, leading to destruction of extracellular matrix and release of matrix metalloproteinases. Finally, it leads to cartilage destruction. That is synovitis and cartilage destruction. For our specialty, we are much concerned about those things. So the major cytokines that are released are TNF alpha and interleukin 1. Later there we can find elevated levels of interleukin 6, 17 and matrix metalloproteinases that are in the synovial fluid. These TNF alpha and interleukin 1, these are the, I told you it is the major inflammatory cytokines. But how these are released? The basic factor here is these are regulated by nuclear factor kappa B. This is a transcription factor. This is the main thing that is essential in the pathogenesis, as you all know. It is the one which plays an essential role in the inflammatory and immune responses. That is, dramatically you can say it is a switch off and on for the inflammation. So this nuclear factor kappa B activation, it is the main cause for the disorders in the rheumatoid arthritis and all the pathogenesis in osteoarthritis as well as in psoriatic or juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. So what is happening here? If you observe the activation of nuclear factor kappa B, it's inflammatory stimuli. So then it causes activation of nuclear factors, and then it slowly translocates into nucleus, and finally it causes activation of genes and releases the inflammatory mediators. This is the total picture. So activation of nuclear factor will cause everything, like finally it releasing the inflammatory mediators through the process of activating nuclear factor kappa B, and then translocation into nucleus, then release of inflammatory mediators. Here comes our drug. So finally what is happening? Because of the pro-inflammatory cytokines, that is TNF alpha, interleukin 1, and the inducible enzymes of cyclooxygenase 2 and then prostaglandin 2. So all these things finally they will be causing the ones like affecting on synovial membrane and chondrocytes and bone. So on the synovial membrane it will be causing inflammation and proliferation of synovium leading to pannus. That's very common and easily understood by orthopedic surgeons whenever there is a pannus around the articular cartilage in the knee joint. So it's an essential pathology in rheumatoid arthritis. And then again it affects the chondrocytes and causing the cartilage destruction through increased cyclooxygenase 2 and matrix metalloproteinases. And third one, it's on the bone, causing osteoclastogenesis and finally erosion of the bone. So these are the effects. So what is need to be done? This nuclear factor kappa B, though we think that it's having a problem causing all the synovitis and finally leading to erosion of the bones also with the parens formation and everything, cartilage destruction. It has got a positive side also, so we may have to go for the balance. So it gives the beneficial effect of innate immunity, antigen presentation, B and T cell development and proliferation, so which is on the beneficial side. On the harmful side is inflammation. Though it's a protective phenomenon, it has inflammation, leads to cartilage destruction and proliferation of cells, angiogenesis and parens formation. So we have, what are the current options there? To limit all these things, we have NSAIDs. But you know as well, whenever we are using NSAIDs or other drugs like steroids, we are judicious in our use because they have their own limitations like gastritis, rhinotoxicity, hepatotoxicity. And again, if you go to steroids also, we have gastric ulcerations, diabetes, hypertension, and will be leading to increased risk of infections because of decreased immunity. Or if you go for agents which control disease progression, we regularly use these things also. Whenever we go for the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis for a prolonged period, we will be combining all the drugs like NSAIDs and sometimes steroids as well as DMATs, where methotrexate and HCQS, leflunomide, all we use, but they are slow in action, takes several weeks to show their effects, and loss in efficacy if you continuously start using them. Ratio that is maintained with Baxmore with BCL2 definitely helps in apoptosis. Then along with that one, there will be activation of caspase-3 and caspase-9. So this curcumin does this, and also it concomitantly causes loss of cyclooxygenase expression, 2 expression, and release of prostaglandin E2. So what is apoptosis? Apoptosis is nothing but is a genetically programmed cell death. It constitutes a systemic means of cell suicide within an organism physiologically during normal morphogenesis and tissue remodeling. Again, pathologically as a response to pathogenic infections or other irreparable cell damage. So it acts both physiologically and pathologically, causing a systemic cell death. So now, if you study curcumin, when it is compared with the effect of the diclofenac, it is equal, almost C-reactive protein levels will be reduced by 52%. So it is effective and safe, and almost it is akin to the work of diclofenac. If you study the disease activity scores or American College of Rheumatology scores. A pilot study was conducted with 18 patients with rheumatoid arthritis who were treated with curcumin for 2 weeks. It gave an evidence that it improved joint swelling, morning stiffness, and walking time. And mind you, it is well tolerated with low GI disturbances. So 820 osteoarthritis patients attending the outpatient clinics were studied with curcumin for 6 months. Results are 6. So 50% of the patients were able to discontinue use of NSAIDs or other analgesics. So it again it proved its NSAIDs, and you can slowly taper them also. Efficacy is at par with NSAIDs with less GI intolerance. So when given alone with NSAIDs, a steroid provides additive effect and synergistic action. So doses can be reduced for steroids as well as NSAIDs. Even the same goes with using along with methotrexate, where the dose can be reduced and risk of hepatotoxicity can be minimized. Unlike biologics, it can be given orally, it's safe and tolerated. So it's an attractive option in management of rheumatoid arthritis as well as in osteoarthritis, monotherapy or in combination therapy. So particularly useful in patients who have an intolerance to NSAIDs like gastrointestinal disturbances, or steroids, or GMATs. And where there is a compromised renal function, or hepatic dysfunction, or cardiovascular disorders, the hypertension or CHF. So that's it. Thank you for your patient listening.